Hi, I'm going live early because I find it quite distracting when there's people come into the class, the normal class. So I decided to go live a little bit early. It's only 9:17 and the class starts 9:30. So basically, I will miss most of you, but I'll be over there on my mat and welcoming people into the live class in the Angel Hall. So yeah, it's nice to say hello first. Haven't been able to do that for a little while. So I'm finding it a little bit stressful linking the two, the live stream and the regular Angel Hall class. So it might be that I separate them again. It's a little bit crazy. I'll write in here, I'll say hello. Everyone or anyone. Hello, anyone joining on live stream. Enjoy the class. There we are. Okay, so if you want to say hello, if you're here, then please do before I go and welcome anyone who's going to come in. I have no idea who's coming. I know that Susie's coming, but apart from that, I don't know who else is coming. That's the problem. People buy class cards. If they don't buy them online, I don't know actually if they're coming. So yeah, if you want to say hello and where you're from before starting the class, then please do. Otherwise, I just hope you enjoy it. And yeah, see you soon, I guess. Just make sure you can see enough. It's a little bit too far away, but that's what we've got. Just do a little test. Yeah, so hopefully you can hear me okay from here because I've got my mic on this time. Yeah, it will have to do. Yeah, we haven't got any of our live people here yet, so any of the people in the Angel Hall yet. So if you want to say hello, then you still can. I just did my first yoga therapy weekend this weekend. It was so cool. It's so nice, to think that I'm going to be able to be officially a yoga therapist, rather than just a yoga teacher. Although being a yoga teacher is great, but being a therapist feels just the next step. A real kind of, just really broadening my knowledge, and being able to help people on a different level, and hopefully get some funding and things like that, some grants, so I can actually do things like yoga for back pain or postnatal yoga or pregnancy yoga and things like that for people who can't really afford to come to classes like that, or to have one-to-ones, so who wouldn't otherwise be able to afford to for their rehabilitations and things like that, or whatever's going on for them. I haven't decided what I'm going to specialize in yet, but who knows? I know that back pain's a big one for a lot of people, so that's probably something that'll be on the list. So yeah, it feels quite exciting. So a lot of my videos on YouTube, my most popular ones are things that are more yoga therapy based. So that will kind of branch out a little bit, and I've already got a couple of sequences I want to share on YouTube. It's little videos for releasing the shoulders and releasing the hips and things like that. So it's great. It's really good learning these things. Actually, on the course, there's a lot of because most of the teachers on the course are also shiatsu therapists, which obviously isn't from the yoga lineage, but shiatsu's more from, it's a Japanese version of the Chinese, which is tuina, but it's more from the Oriental medicine with the meridians and things rather than nadis. But so quite a bit of it, learning about different meridians as well, and different acupressure points, and doin. I don't know if you've had a doin where that's probably not good near the mic, but where you're like really patting down the meridian points like this, and you press into different points, like on the toes or on the hands or different things like that. So that's interesting. That's going to be a great thing that I can weave into the yoga therapy as well. Just a little bit of Chinese, Japanese medicine as well. Yeah, it's not actually just Chinese and Japanese. It's, Taiwan and Korea and different places. Actually, they've all got similar medicine. I'm not sure which countries exactly, but yeah, similar kind of acupuncture style, shiatsu style health practices. So that's exciting anyway. And also going to really delve more into pranayama and the kriyas, the breathing kriyas, where you're really kind of eliminating any stuck energies and things like that. That's really cool. Anyway, for those, if anyone who's just joined, I'm just going on about the fact that I just started my yoga therapy training on the weekend, and it feels really good. Yeah, 6 months late because of lockdowns. But yeah, it feels very exciting. Anyway, if anyone wants to say hello, I don't know who's here, so it's quite nice to know who's in the class. I've got Bob Outdoors. Well done, sounds awesome. Is your name Bob? Have you got a YouTube channel as well? Like, could I have a look at it? I love looking at people's YouTube channels. And outdoors sounds good. So yeah, I was wondering if it's, yeah, anyway, I don't know if are you joining the class, Bob? If you're new to the class and you are joining it, apologies for the fact that I have to be so far away. It's because I've got my computer at the back and I haven't got a fancy camera that can zoom in properly, which is really annoying. So I'm having just to work with this one, really. Oh, it'd be nice to have you. It's a gentle yoga class. It's gentle hatha class. So yeah, we have a small mix of people in here. I don't know who's coming. Like I said before, it's quite funny not knowing who's coming. I'm gonna have to get a bit more on it with my advertising. Yeah, stay for a bit if you wish, but of course, where are you from? Actually, that's always really interesting because people come from all over the place. Are you from the UK? I actually sometimes have people from the US who join at 4 a.m, which I always think is quite funny, like 4:30 or something. It's a shame we can't have a two-way conversation, isn't it? Are you from Cardiff? Oh, cool. Oh, cool. I was born in Llandilo, which is near Carmarthen, in the valleys up there. Do you have a YouTube channel? Is Eve or Fiona here yet? Actually, Eve might not be. Eve might not be able to come, I think. I'm not sure. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see who turns up. Okay, so it's 27 minutes past 9. I'm going to have a really small class in the Angel Hall. Where are these people? Okay, so I know one of them's coming. So what I'm going to do is you got one video. Yay! It's fun though posting videos, isn't it? But to be honest, it's so hard doing YouTube if you're doing it, if you want to get to the point of being monetized, where you actually you have ads on your channel. It's taken me, oh my God, it will be in about July that I finally get monetized, I think, sometime in July. Anyway, one person's coming, so I hope you enjoy the class. Hi, Kathy. Hi, welcome. I was just telling my live stream lot about my. Doing it. Yeah. I'm still doing it. I think I'm going to separate them at some point soon.
Yeah, I think it might be.
Oh, it's too tricky. So, but I'll separate them. But yeah, I'm just telling them about. I've just did my first weekend at the Devon School. It's really good. I think you'll enjoy it.
Well, I'll be feeling so nervous about the whole thing, but partly for the reasons you know why. But
yeah. But you know, I didn't have to show my one at all.
Sorry.
I didn't have to show my one at all, so I'm not doing it again.
I've got them.
No, but did I do it? You don't have to do it. It's
not just that. But
I'll talk about afterwards because at the moment I'm obviously on telling the whole of them.
Anyway, no, this weekend.
Yeah, honestly, it was so nice. Yeah.
How many?
We had 12 people, and
Is
this is the postgraduate, but they're going to keep it that small now. It all used to be 16. And they take. But it's so weird when I spoke to him. He was like, oh, we're going to keep it at 12, and then the teacher training is going to be 14, I think. And yeah, but the advanced and the postgraduate are going to be the two postgraduate ones are going to be 12, and they're not putting the price up. So I'm like, what business model is that? I mean, that's nice of them, but I was like, oh, how are you going to? So that was interesting. But I think it's good to have less. You know, he's saying it's much better to have less people. He just says it's better for the group. The groups are nice. Yeah, I know. I was like, yeah, that's amazing. So how are you? You two? Yeah, I know. It's quite good, really, because except for it makes the garden go mad, but it means you get a good soaking, and then then the sun comes out, and it's like, if the sun comes up, hopefully. How are you feeling in your bodies? Like, is there anything you feel like you need to work on, or today, like some things?
A bit lower back and shoulders as well.
Yeah, so back shoulders.
Twinges which I haven't had for a while.
Oh, you've actually having twinges as well.
Twinges in my shoulders. I used to get them a bit after I broke my arm.
Yeah.
I haven't had it for a while. So
yeah, and a lot of computer work still.
Yeah, but back in the hospital as well. So.
You're going up to London?
Yes. Yeah.
Ah, is that quite nice?
It was nice. It's actually boiling last week. It's like 30 degrees. It's so hot.
Mad, isn't it?
It's a different type of heat, isn't it? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Are you having to wear a mask up on the train as well?
Yes, yeah.
And that's the only thing, it's a long way on the train, isn't it, wearing the mask?
And then you wear a mask a lot around London because you're always in spaces where you need to.
Yeah.
You know, around here.
Yeah, exactly. It's a different thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
exactly. It's good. You get used to it, though.
Yes.
And how are you feeling?
I don't think there's any particular area. If you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever you want.
So we'll see. But I know we would like to fit in some balances. Did you like inversions as well? Was it you who liked?
Well, I did, although yes, I did actually. But balances and
do you know what I'm missing is halasana, the plough, because I love doing that in my own practice.
When I got the information from Duncan for the course, and I know this anyway, but they did mention about high blood pressure, no inversions.
Yeah.
The thing is, I've had high blood pressure for 10 years, and I've always done inversions.
Oh, and as it works,
yeah. And I don't particularly want to stop. I mean,
Well, exactly. If you're used to doing them, it's probably okay.
Yeah.
I actually don't know that. I don't know that it'd be worth checking it out.
Yes, when I did yoga a long time ago, I didn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is to say, if you have it, then it's best not to do it. But because I've always done them,
yeah,
anyway, I don't know.
It's a bit like carrying on, like if when you get pregnant, they say in the first 3 months not to practice anything too hard or do running or anything. But if you're used to it and you're already doing it, then it's seen as okay to do it. So, but I actually I could ask about that. Or it's worth asking.
Recommendation to the student.
Yeah, yeah. Because down dog is an inversion, and you do those all the time. Which one? Oh, Utkatasana. No.
Well, you know.
Oh, Uttanasana. Yeah. Exactly. It is. It's upside down, isn't it? Yeah, you're right.
So anyway, but certainly some balance would be good.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Let's get something happening. Let's just start sitting as we usually do, don't we? And so find anything that feels comfortable for you, and start to check in with how you're feeling today. So depending on where you've been and how your weekend was and how busy your morning was, or whatever was happening for you, just really drop into how you are right now. Let's start with looking at how we are in our bodies. So making any adjustments to feel comfortable. And checking in with if there's any areas that feel a little bit stuck or a little bit open or really open and alive. So whatever's happening in your body. And then take a moment to notice your thoughts, which probably have been quite, even quite busy maybe while you're noticing your body, but actually to stop and really bring some awareness to your thoughts. And so in this short practice now, we're welcoming anything that comes up. So whatever's happening in our bodies, in the body, and whatever's happening in the mind, is completely welcome. Then start to drop into how you're feeling on an emotional level. It can be interlinked, so the thoughts will maybe be related. The emotions might really be felt in the body, being holistic beings. It's not separate, but again, completely welcome. And there's no need for us to indulge any of these things, but just to recognize and witness what's going on. We don't need to avoid them either. Just be with whatever's there. And then start to deepen the breath. So you're beginning to bring some awareness and regulation slightly of the breath. So nothing too fancy, but just beginning to deepen the inhale and watching the abdomen, the rib cage and the chest expand, and lengthening the exhale while our body softens. Have your arms and your shoulders, back of the neck, brow. You can imagine a golden thread from the crown of the head. That's quite a nice analogy, where you feel There's a gentle, really soft lifting from the crown of the head that's merely guiding upwards a little bit. You can feel, as you inhale, space being created between the vertebrae. So this is obviously something that's like something you can really imagine is this lengthening and lifting of the spine, even if it's incredibly subtle. And there's a lengthening in the side body, so between the ribs and the hips, a lengthening. Between the shoulders and the top of the neck, the base of the skull, lengthening, a space being created. And then the softness with every exhale. And from here, let's begin with our Om vibrations. So we'll breathe in together. And then let's gently open the eyes when you're ready. And because we've been sitting a little while, let's bring the hands back and the legs in front and stretch out the legs. Pointing and flexing the feet. You can even either lean back or just sit upright. It's fine, either way. And then let's have a little rotation of the ankles. And the other direction. Great. Wonderful. Okay, and actually while we're here, we'll bring up the knees and rock out the hips. So the knees are going from side to side. Just a little bit of a warm up. Lovely. Back to center. That's great. And find, if you're in cross-legged, maybe put the legs the other way, so the other one's in front. It always feels really weird. Not as weird as the hands. Yeah. Do you ever do the clasp the hand? That's so strange. When you do the other side, when you clasp your hands and then a yoga teacher or somebody says, go do the other one, it's just like alien. Okay, so I'm just thinking of shoulders. Let's just have a quick, for the neck, let's just bring 3 neck circles actually. So we'll look down at in between the ankles and circling up, being careful of your back of your neck. And then down again. So making sure that you're going as slow as you need to. So it might not be 3, you might end up just doing 2 on either side or either direction. And the shoulders are nice and loose. Softening away from the ears. Then if you're ready, you can go the other direction. That's great. So in your own time, might be time for one more, I think, on this side. As I always say, whenever I'm doing my neck, I can't count. So of course, when you're ready, you're back up to head back up, and we'll bring our shoulders forward, rotating forward. And then backwards. Great, fantastic. And then we'll lift up the shoulders, and we're going to take one forward. So the right goes forwards and the left goes back. If you lift up, it makes it easier. You start by lifting up and try and get the right going forward and the left going back. It might be easier to release the hands down from your knees, just so you've got the weight of the loose arms by your side. Great. So taking rotations of the shoulders, and then lift up and go the other way. So that's the right going backwards and the left going forwards. Obviously, if you're doing it the other direction, that's fine. But basically, we're trying to get a bit of an opposite going on with the shoulders. Wonderful. Relaxing down the shoulders and the arms, that's good. Okay, so we'll bring the hands in front and clasp the hands and turn them around. So we're really stretching out the back. So the shoulder blades are moving away from each other. And you can curve your back as well. So just get into it if you feel like it. Otherwise, just make it a shoulder thing and tuck in your tummy. It's kind of two ways of doing this, really. But if you want to involve the lower back as well and really curve the back, the head will be coming down a little bit. Deep breaths. You can even start engaging your ujjayi breath if you know it, so the throaty breath. So getting some nice strong breathing going on. Releasing the clasp, releasing the arms. This is a bit stronger than the seated cat. So then clasp out your hands behind, and let's see how it goes by clasping the palms together behind. But if you can't do that, then keep it wide open. But if your shoulders are allowing you to, do anything in more moderately, like more gently if you need to. The cross of the legs is so different. I'm like, I want to cross my back again. So squeeze, the shoulder blades are coming together, really opening up the chest. Let's keep a softness to it as well, though. So we're softening the shoulders. And see if you can bring the palms together. And if not, it really is okay. Everyone's got very different shoulders, and it's early in the morning or first thing for yoga. Ujjayi if you can. Releasing down. That's quite strong. So let's take a few seated cats, but we'll accentuate a little bit. So the hands go up, past the knees. Inhale up. Exhale down. So curving the spine, but making it a bit looser because we've been doing quite a fixed exercise. Inhale and exhale. Lovely, good. Bring the neck into it. So the neck might be going back if it's okay with your neck. One more time forward, leaning forward, soft neck. And bring yourself up. And let's place the hands behind and bring the knees up again, have a rock around and change back to the nice way round. I think they're going, this is really uncomfortable. Okay, so go back to your original seat position or leg position if you are in cross-legged. Okay, so we'll lift up the right hand and bring it into the left elbow crease. So and either way is fine. If you do it the other way, it's fine. And then we're looking over the shoulder. We're looking over the opposite shoulder. So in my case, I'm looking over my right shoulder. Is that making sense for you? So straight, yeah, that's good. So straight arm. You'll be going that maybe. Oh no, you are going the same way. You are going the same way. You're right. That's good. Even if your arm's bent, it's okay. It's because it's a shoulder stretch, really. That's good. And looking over. So it's a bit like you're doing a little twist over the other side. So really breathing the shoulder down. Is that feeling good? Good. And it's really hard as well for me. When I'm looking at it, I'm like, I can. And releasing down. And we'll go the other way. So lifting up the left arm, straightening it up, and then over to the side. Looking out over your left. If you're going the same way as me, yeah. Oh, the jaw. Yeah, it's so important, isn't it? Because actually, it's easy to get into this thing where you're clasping, you're clenching your jaw or your brow. With me, it's sometimes my brow.
It's almost like it's connected to the shoulder, isn't it? If you stretch that
shoulder,
you feel it wanting you to drop your jaw.
Yeah. Does it help you release it?
Yes. Yeah,
oh, good.
And same with the other, the clasping the hands behind your back.
Oh, good. So there's actually, I wonder what the connect starting to. That's nice. Yeah. But because your kids are at Kevix and
yes, it'd be much better.
Yeah. Great. Great. I love Dartington. Okay. Oh, that feels quite strong. Okay, so let's just have a little roll back. Hopefully that's not too strong for first thing. I'll leave out the eagle arms. We can always do those later. And then and forwards. So you've been rolling the shoulders back and now forwards. Great. And while we're here, we'll have a little side stretch. But actually, let's do our side stretch with wide legs. Let's we'll widen the legs, flex the feet, and then have a side stretch like that. That's quite nice. So we actually do two things at once. The right arm down, or opposite's fine, and then over to the side. Really breathing into this stretch before we're gonna start moving the arm in a moment. Have a little breathe into the side body, so you're opening up between the hips and the rib cage. And then let's bring the hand down and sweep it across the floor or the mat. Lift up, and we can open up so you can reach back the arm for a moment. See how that goes. Both of you have issues with your arms, so let's be careful. So probably totally the wrong exercise, but just see if it's right to do that, and then come down again. Exhale down. Inhale up. So you might want to just keep moving, but if you haven't got if there's anyone watching this who hasn't got any issues with their arms and they can move backwards, opening up the chest, opening up the shoulder, that's great. Exhale down. And if you wish, either just keep rotating your arm, but if you want to, you can bring the hand behind and just have a little moment of opening up the shoulder. See how that is? So you're placing your hand on your sacrum or tuck it into your thigh. And then gently moving upwards. Oh, that's a strong shoulder one too. And then we'll exhale over to the other side. So what we don't want to do is pull a muscle in the shoulder by getting overexcited. I've done that before. I can't remember if I don't think Kathy was here, but you might have been in this class. I can't remember, Susie, but I was like, there's not much you can do it wrong. You can do with the shoulders. Oh no, I don't think you were here yet, actually. It's, the shoulders are quite fairly robust. That day, I was saying that in the class, that day, I ended up going for a swim after doing strong shoulder things in here and pulled a muscle that was so painful I couldn't sleep. So it totally taught me something. It's like, you can actually do loads with it. Because I've always had shoulders that have really been quite, I can do strong shoulder things. But it went on for about 4 weeks or something.
God. Yeah, the muscles are amazing, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're so little. I notice it when I go, well, I do this.
Yeah, and you can pull a little tiny muscle.
Going on the side that look like the flexed. Yeah, it's flexed.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing if they've torn before. So if you can do it on this side, I'm on my right arm. You can also, when you're up, you can inhale, open the shoulder a little bit, and then exhale down. Nice circles of the shoulder. And really you can accentuate slightly. So when you come down, you can also turn towards your legs. So you're stretching out that part of your back. And if you wish to, next time you're up, you can bring your hand behind and tuck it in, either at your sacrum or tuck it in somewhere along your thigh if it wants to do that, and open up. I can't remember which one, you guys are going to have to listen to your bodies. I can't remember which side is which with your shoulders. I need to look at my notes. And gently easing up. Great. Woo! That's quite strong. Okay, so let's have a little, I think what we'll do is just have another little rock out because it's so good for the lower back as well, rocking out the knees from side to side. Lovely. Fantastic. And then bring the knees up and we'll make our way into tabletop position. So in tabletop, or the cat posture, our foundation is grounded hands below the shoulders, grounded knees below the hips, and our feet. It's really grounding in the feet. And let's start today with some gentle movement. So spinal awareness is what I call this one. So you're just really becoming aware of your spine. So the main instruction of this one is your spine is moving whatever way that you feel like moving it, and try and pick things, try and move in a way that maybe you haven't before, which if you've done this a lot is probably unlikely, but just ways that you wouldn't go to immediately, or not the conventional cat flexions and extensions yet. But as you're moving your spine, so that means your hips might be moving with also, or your shoulders might be moving also. You're imagining the spine as you're moving it. So you're imagining the image of the spine. So you can see it dancing in front of your eyes. You can imagine it that's what's happening in your body. As if you can see on an X-ray or an MRI or something. So remembering your breath. So it's your breath that's guiding your movement. So however you're breathing, whatever speed you're breathing, that's the speed you're going. It might be super slow. Lovely, good. And then let's start doing something together. So we're going to move the hips from side to side. So we're swaying the hips from side to side, and then the shoulders from side to side as well. So the shoulders are likely to be going opposite direction, or even actually slightly different speed from the hips. It just feel into what your body wants to do. So this really is quite free form. You can do what you want. So even though you're moving your hips from side to side and your shoulders from side to side, it might be that your hips are moving in a more circular motion. Might be doing figure of eights. And then while still moving, it's all very sensual, you're bringing your hands out in front of you. So it's like you're a cat who's feeling quite excited, but start to move your hands in front and lowering down into what gets called puppy pose sometimes. So it's like a little mini back stretch. It might be that your chin is on the mat. It might be that your forehead is on the mat. If your neck's okay with it, if you'll actually try your forehead on the mat, because if your neck's okay with it, you can lift up the left arm a little bit with a hand on the mat, and you can roll across your forehead and then the other side. But really only do this if it feels okay with your head and your neck, without putting any pressure on it. It's just a gentle moving from side to side, because it stretches out. It's stretching out your upper back between your shoulder blades. So lifting up your elbow as you move from side to side, the opposite elbow, if that makes any sense. And then begin to walk up and come back into child pose. And resting the hands down by your side. So the hands can be by your feet if that feels comfortable. So your elbows can widen out towards the side of the mat. And take a few breaths here in child. Then gently and slowly lift up into Vajrasana when you're ready, which is sometimes gets called diamond, where you're sitting on, you're kneeling basically. Lovely, good. Hands at the heart. And take a moment of stopping here. Just breathe, soft shoulders, eyes closed. Exhale, and then as you inhale, lift up and stretch up. Really feel the lengthening through the side body, so tucking in the tummy here and tucking in the hips, your tailbone's tucked. Neck is nice and loose. Inhale again, stretch up, and then exhale, fold forward. Back into a child. And inhale up into upward facing cat. So your hands are below your shoulders. And then let's come into downward facing cat. So lifting up your Mula Bandha, your pelvic floor, the root lock, and your abdominal muscles. Inhale, relaxing and opening up, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, scooping up the belly. Inhale, upward cat. Exhale, downward cat. So in your own time, just take a couple more of these. Remembering your breath. Really lovely deep breaths now. So you can enjoy your ujjayi or any gentle breathing if you prefer to breathe gently. And the next time you're in upward cat, place one hand slightly forward and the other hand slightly forward, and then turn the toes round and lift up into a hover. So this is where you scoop up your abdomen and your root lock. The knees are hip width, so are the feet. Really tuck in your tummy because it's a strengthener and you're really looking after your lower back here. Exhale, the chest back, so you're in half downward dog. And if you wish, you can press back on your thumbs and your forefingers so that you're really stretching the upper back between the shoulder blades as you go back. If that's too much, just loosen up. You can always just loosen up and come forward again or come down. You don't have to stay here. And then inhale, come into an acute dog, which is really high on your tiptoes. Stretch out the back of the legs. And exhaling the heels down one at a time. So you're alternating your heels as you walk out your downward facing dog. Keep taking breaks if you need to. And then we'll come to stillness and downward dog. Take a breath in and then lower the knees down. Inhale into upward cat. And then exhale into child. I'm going to rest the arms and take some dancing, circles or figure eights of our hands, because that's quite strong on the wrists. If you've been up the whole time, you can flex them and extend them, the wrists, point and flex. Maybe even give them a shake if you wish. And from here, let's move from the child. Nice and slowly, we can slither like a snake across the mat and come into Sphinx pose. So that our elbows are below the shoulders. The forearms are flat on the mat. Inhale, open up the shoulders. It's harder to do this than in Cobra. You've got more room to do this, but in Sphinx, just feel that subtle shifting of the shoulder blades moving down the back. Softening shoulders. Making sure the neck's nice and loose. Being careful of the lower back. If it's too much, then just release down if it feels like it's too intense. Good. Take a breath in and then exhale down. With the forehead on the mat if you can. One full breath here. Inhale and then exhale. Knees bent back into downward dog. Deep breaths in downward dog, maybe just a couple, but nice, slow, long breaths. And again, you can yes and no your head. So you're loosening your neck because it doesn't have to be really straight. You can just keep it nice and loose. Inhale. upward cat. So you're lowering your knees down and then gently into upward cat. Exhale back into child. When we're in child, let's keep the arms out and gently move the hands forward so that we're easing the hips back to the heels, the sit bones back to the heels. And it might be that they don't go there, it just depends on your body, but you're encouraging them back, but not so much that it hurts. So that you're easing your hands forward, kind of pressing forward so that your buttocks or your hip bones, sit bones are going back towards your heels. Yours are probably quite, so even if they're already on it, but you might feel that it's a slight, it's activating the posture a bit more. So you're activating the side of your body and your lower back. And then start to move the hands over to the left. So we're walking gently over to the left. Stretching out the right side. Good. That's nice. And forward. So start to move the hands forward. Then placing the hands one at a time over to the right, stretching out the left side of the body. So that means your right arm will be nice and loose. You can kind of like bend the elbow of the right arm. Wonderful. And gently back to center. And then with the next inhale, slowly bring yourself up with your hands together at the heart center. Lifting up, stretching up through the side body, tucking in tummy here and your tailbone. Inhale, lift up, and then exhale, down and hands down to the heart. Lovely, good. And take a moment here of stillness. Just being here, resting, eyes closed. That's nice. Okay, so place your hands in front of you on the mat. So you're coming back into tabletop. Actually, we're going to do one thing. We'll do this thing I've just suddenly thought of. So let's just do our strengthening of our abdomen by doing the alternate arm and leg lifts. So held posture. Take a breath in and then exhale the right arm up and the left leg up, tucking in your tummy and your pelvic floor. So you're looking down at the mat, softening your shoulders, soft the back of the neck. So your leg is in line. You're both looking pretty good, actually. Your leg is pretty much in line with the mat, and the arm is in line with the mat. Good. A few breaths, and lower down. Fantastic. That's good. And then the other direction, other way. So left arm, right leg. Is that feeling okay, Kathy? Oh, did you do both? Good.
Well, I can't.
Yeah, do less, yeah.
Too much with
yeah. No, good.
Too
Let's do less. That's fine. And what you can do, Susie, that's probably enough now, but when you're ready. What you can do is just do that one where you just a lot of classes with that one. It's quite a cardio exercise one where you kind of go. So you can even do it. So I do it a bit slower than that, but you can do it like that as well. You don't have to hold it as much. Okay, so let us bring the right leg forward. So we're going to get ourselves up in a minute. Yeah, get off the mat. Inhale forward and exhale back. I'm so addicted to this one. Don't know, get stuck on certain things, and this one is just so nice. And I use this as in my practice most mornings. So. But again, I think what we found was with some people, this is the one where you do the hamstring hip stretch, so rocking forward and rocking back. Do you feel like this would help you? That's quite nice. Would you like a bit higher, Kathy, with blocks? Because sometimes it just depends on your hips, basically. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so inhale, rock forward, exhale back. And come to stillness with your forward, your lunge, your low lunge. And we'll bring in the twist. So place the left hand down and the right hand up. Stretching out the back, shoulder blades in this twist, tuck in your tummy. That's good. Place the right hand back down. That's great. Lunge. Otherwise, we're going to come up into the high lunge. Now, you can have your back knee bent, if you wish, in the high lunge. That feels quite nice sometimes. You can do a little bit of straightening and bending of your back leg. And your knee is over the ankle. So the front knee, the right knee is over the ankle. Lift up your toes and gently place them down. And hands coming to the heart. Lovely. And for this time, we'll tuck in the tummy and then open up the arms. And let's do it so that we've got them at right angles. So the upper arm is parallel with the mat. And the lower arm is facing with the fingers straight up at the ceiling. How's that feeling? Yeah, if balance is difficult, make sure you're not on a tight rope or tight rope, whatever it's called. So opening up. If you're tired, it makes such a difference. Bring the hands together. So you're closing your hands, stretching your shoulders, hands back down to the heart. Great. And then let's lower the back foot down and heel toe the front foot. So we're coming into warrior 2. So that's heel to arch alignment. Opening up the arms. Tucking in your, pelvic floor. Tucking in your pelvic floor, your root lock. Looking straight ahead. Lovely. That's great. And then let's bring in the back foot slightly. So just one little wriggle of the back foot. Loosen the right knee. And then begin to feel a gentle movement from the right arm. And then straighten your right knee. And coming into Trikonasana. Opening up the left shoulder. And if you wish, if it feels okay, you can bring the left hand around. You can tuck it in your thigh if you want to, or you can put it on your sacrum. It's just one other way of practicing triangle. So you're finding your place of your right hand by having your palm open, just finding a good place for you. And then release the left arm and bring yourself back up. That's great. Lovely. That's good. Bring yourself up. And release the hands down. And then come to the front of the mat. And we'll, it's strong on the right leg, isn't it? So I'm going to actually face you for this bit, but if you come to the front of your mat. And your feet are hip width apart, nice and strong. Legs lifting up the arches of the feet, which are activating the kneecaps and the inner thighs, and it really activates the legs. Tucking in your tailbone, nice strong abdomen here, soft shoulders. Then open up the chest a little bit, but we're not actually curving the chest, the back or anything. We're just keeping ourselves nice and straight, but we're just opening up the shoulders a little bit. Placing the hands down. Good. And soft face muscles. Feel that golden thread again lifting from the crown of the head. Let's begin by exhaling, lifting up. And that means we're lifting up our pelvic floor and abs. So we're coming up onto our tiptoes. On the exhale, and then inhale down. I think I actually teach the Pilates way because I prefer it. So exhaling up, lifting up. The abdominal muscles. Mula Bandha, exhale up. Inhale down, wonderful. So keeping your drishti, which I didn't mention before, sorry, your eye gaze nice and steady. Find something to focus on. Inhale down, exhale. And if you want to feel that your, next time, we'll do it one more time, so if you want to feel that your abs are really engaged, you can always bring your hands to your belly area. See how much work is going into this balance. And then bring yourself down. Fantastic. Great. Okay, so let's really, we're going to come into Garudasana, the eagle, which can be modified greatly if you need to. So we're planting the left leg and we're bending the left knee, and then we're finding a place. And it might be that we're just doing the kind of, I was thinking it was stopping self wee pose, but it's like, yeah, cross the slight cross leg with placing your big toe down, or it might be that you're able to lift up your foot off the mat, or it might be that you're able to do this. So we'll start first with the hands, but that's what we're going to do with the feet. So with the arms, it is the opposite arm on top to the leg on top. So open up the arms. You going to be okay? Yeah. So we're doing the left arm is on top and the right leg is on top. So the left arm's on top. So find the left arm in the crease of the right elbow and bring yourself into Namaste if you can. So Anjali Mudra, perfect. That's great. Then place the weight in the left leg, and you're finding either just your big toe, or you're going to wrap or balance in any way. And your drishti is actually your third eye. So that means that you can have a really blurry focus. You're not really focused. It's just you're really allowing this to be quite an inward posture. You'll just make sure you tuck in your back. So you're really engaging your abdominal muscles. And then releasing down, opening up. And release down, that's good. Oh, strong. So that was the preliminary, what we did earlier, this one. So that's quite strong on your shoulders. Okay, so you guys managed that pretty well. See, I actually, anyway, it's just annoying because I want to come out and see you guys a bit more. So I think that's what's gonna have to happen. I have to separate my live and my, because it's hard. I want to come and check you guys out. Okay, that's what's gonna have to happen, I think. Okay, so we're going to bring the arms out, and then the right leg is going on top, because we're going to then really, weight's going into the right leg, and then lift up the left leg. So we've got right arm on top, left leg on top. And then bind if you can, or wrap if you can. Lifting up the shoulders. So if you lift up, the elbows. So if you lift up the elbows, it increases the stretch. Remember, your drishti is in at your third eye. So it can be quite a still, quiet meditative posture. You're an eagle on the edge of the cliff. Bird of prey, so very majestic. Tucking in your tummy. And when you're ready, you can release the legs and give your arms a little bit of rotate away. Great, fantastic. Okay, so we better do the other side of our other leg. What was that about? Okay, so come to the front of the mat. Bring the hands to the heart. Take a moment in Tadasana. Lovely. Lifting up the arms, tuck in the tummy and tailbone. Exhale down, lift up the arches of the feet and your toes, softening your toes. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, flat back. So we're going to take a little flow here, about 3. Exhale, fold forward. Soften the knees if you need to. Or bend the knees rather. Keep the knees soft anyway. Inhale up. Exhale, fold forward. Really lengthening your leg muscles, backs of the legs. Inhale up. This can be great for lower back if you're pretty careful not to overstretch at all. One more time. Inhale up. And then exhale, fold forward. Take a breath in, and then we'll gently step back into downward dog. Tuck in the tummy. Breath in, exhale. The knees down. And we're coming into our tabletop posture. Place the left foot outside of the hands. So inhaling forward and exhaling back, stretching out the leg. Great. Inhale and exhale. That's great. Nice slow breaths. Really stretching out your hips and your hamstrings. And then we'll come to stillness, place the right hand down and lift up the left, so coming into the twist. Makes sense? Good. Oh, his sacrum's clicking like crazy. Great, fantastic. Place the left hand back down. And then we're going to come into the high lunge, or you can stay low if you wish. So make sure you're not on a tight rope, so you're nice and wide as wide as you need to be. Bring the hands to the heart. When you're ready, you can lower the back knee down if you want. That's quite a different stretch. It's quite nice. Then bring the hands up. We'll come into the open. Actually, I can't remember what this mudra is called, but it's lovely. I love it. Opening up the shoulders a little bit. Bent elbows. Fantastic. And then gently bring the palms and the forearms together. Lowering down to the heart. And then turning the back foot and placing the right foot down and heel toe the left foot. I'll actually go this way for now. Heel toe the left foot so that your heel to heel alignment. Knee over ankle. We're coming into Virabhadrasana 2. Tucking in tummy, lifting up Mula Bandha. Opening up chest. Arms nice and straight. Soft shoulders. Looking straight ahead. Fantastic. Good. And then we're going to move into triangles. So straighten the right leg a little bit, but keep it soft, the knee. And then bring one little movement in. So the triangle pose is slightly shorter than warrior two, generally. Straight arms. Guide forward with the bent knee. So you slightly bend the knee. And then straighten the knee as you come down. So I do palm open, back of the hand against the leg somewhere. It's up to you, you could do it anyway. And then lift up towards the sky with your right arm and towards the earth with your left arm in triangle. Fantastic, that's good, lovely. And if you want to, you can bring the top arm around and tuck it into your thigh or to your sacrum, opening up the shoulder. Lifting up your toes if you need to and softening them down. And the top arm can come back up towards the sky and feeling gently lifted. Bring yourself up. That's lovely. And then I think we just came to the front of the mat, didn't we? Was that it for our standing? That was it. So hands at the heart. Taking a few slow, deep breaths. When we're ready, you can lift the arms up. Tuck in tummy and then fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Take a breath in to prepare, and then exhale back into downward dog. Inhale, and then lower the knees down on the exhale. So you're coming into seated. Lovely. Good. You can have a drink or anything if you want. Okay, so we haven't done much with our hips, have we? I was thinking we could actually fit in a hip opener. Has anyone got a favourite hip opener? No. I'll bring something in. That's the hip opener that way, yeah. And then there's pigeon. But then if I had it my way, I'd put pigeon into everything. But I'm going to try not to do that because I just love stretching that side of my hip. So, but let's just have a little moment in. So we're going to come into, this is opposite. It's actually hip closing. Oh yeah, but we'll do that at the end. Yeah, but thank you for reminding. No, we'll do that when we get down. So we'll first do a couple of things here. Thank you for reminding me. We'll start with Baddha Konasana and we'll do a hip. So we'll do a hip opener like this, and then we'll close our hips. So bring the feet together and let's do the lift and shift. So we'll bring it so that we're actually going to come quite far in. So we're going to place the hands behind and lift and shift forward and see what that's like. That can be quite intense. And then hold the hands on the feet. Inhale, lifting up. And exhale, you can still gently soften, even though you'll go less far forward. So you won't be able to go quite as far forward with the feet close together like this. So just fold a little bit. This is the kind of traditional Baddha Konasana. And it's quite a strong inner groin stretch. So be careful not to overstretch. Inhaling, gentle lengthening, and exhale, one more softening. And the next time we inhale, bring ourselves up a little bit and then move the legs forward into the diamond. And this will be nice on the lower back, hopefully. So inhale up and then exhale, fold forward, and see if that feels different for your lower back, depending on your hips. Is that feeling like it's stretching your lower back a bit? Because it's quite different, isn't it, from your inner groin? So obviously everybody's different, but for me, I love this one as a lower back stretch. So same principle, there's a lengthening of the spine as you inhale slightly, and then a gentle softening as you exhale. And relax into this posture. And see what it's like to open your knees a little bit more down towards, like, so we move the knees down towards the mat a little bit more as you bring yourself up to see if they're creating that space. Does that work? Then bring yourself up. Nice, good. And then we'll come into Gomukhasana, the cow face posture. So the right knee is over the left knee, but it might be that you're like this. So it might be that it's not, that's not how it is. It might even be up here. That's good. Great. And holding the feet. And take a moment of meditation or just being present in this, the cow face, or just with the cow-faced legs. So breathing here with the legs on top of each other. And then gently open the eyes, lifting up the right arm, and bring the left hand to the left elbow and stretch out the shoulder. Good. Yeah, that's difficult. And if you have a strap and you want to do this, you can clasp behind, but I can't, depending on your sides. Oh, I'm going to strap. So grab a strap. If you, oh, right, yeah, good. Do you ever use them?
I do use it.
You don't have to. Yeah.
With this in this particular.
Yeah. You don't have to use them.
Let's see. Sometimes
Sometimes they're helpful, I think, and then sometimes it's actually okay. Just yeah. Does that feel okay? Sometimes it's better not to force things. Like the thing about straps, although they're amazing, it's also kind of suggesting what you're doing isn't quite enough and you need to be going further in some ways. Do you know what I mean? It's like, in some ways, just what you're doing is enough. And that might be enough. That's a bit of a stretch. But that might even be enough just to...
I think it's just because this arm now,
yeah. And did you get torn ligaments?
Well, no, I don't think I did. But the materials affected.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Ligaments.
Yeah, and it depends on your situation, but it might be safer. I think we talked about this before, but it might be safer to build up strength in the area, not overstretch it. So even though it's like, yeah, you don't have as much movement, it might actually be safer for the shoulder. And I'm not a chiropractor or an osteopath. That's the thing, is actually, yeah, that's something that hopefully I'll learn a bit more about. But basically, I don't think being super mobile, flexible is always the best thing.
No.
Like if you've got an injury, there's a reason why we build up. we build up muscle around it and build up to protect it. So yeah, it's not just all about stretching. I know that my husband's got an arm that is from rowing. He obviously was getting overexcited, and now his ligaments are so pulled that he can just move it. He can just like sleep behind it like that and things like that. Looks gross. Like the hypermobile joints. No, not at all. Yeah, you've got to be really careful. So if you've got someone in a class who's hypermobile, it's like, whoa, they become like a kind of like a... Yeah, and I've got this joint's definitely hypermobile, so anything too stretchy open, destabilizes me. So yeah, it's really... So let's go to the other side and remember about our shoulders. But yeah, this obsession with overstretching is a bit... That's why people often go to Ashtanga for years and then like, now I've got hypermobile knees and I've got to be careful. Okay, so lifting up the left side, the left hand arm, and the hands going down between your shoulder blades, and you can take hold of the elbow. And gently stretch down this side. That's lovely. And then if you wish, you can take the full expression by bringing in the strap or just clasping behind you. Or not even. And rest. So we didn't actually have our little meditation with the legs this time. So we could just take a moment of resting here. It's quite nice with your eyes closed and just being in the posture. I especially like it when the arms aren't involved, actually. You can just rest in the seated position. And giving a little bit of love to your feet. And placing the hands on the feet. Just a few breaths here, a little bit of connection with your own body and your life force energy. And then releasing the posture. And we'll slowly make our way down onto the mat. So what we're going to do now is the plow, so halasana, but we'll start with half shoulder stand. So if you haven't done this before, the thing is to have a little look first, because once you're up in plow, you don't want to turn your head, because otherwise you can really hurt your neck, because there's actually a lot of pressure on your neck as you go back. I love it. It's lush posture. But you just have to be a bit careful. And if you were in an Iyengar class, you'd be padding up and all this kind of stuff. But we're not doing that unless you particularly want to. But I'm not going to teach that. So you're going to place your hands by your side with the palms down. Tuck in your tummy. And then lift up the legs so they're facing the ceiling. And it's with your abdominal muscles, actually. And you can use your hands as well. You're gently raising into a half shoulder stand. So it's actually got its own name, beginning with V. Can't remember what it is. Have to remember that one. But it's a great posture. So it's a lovely inversion without having to go into full shoulder stand where you've got quite a lot of restriction in your throat. And you certainly don't want to do it naked. And your elbows are parallel with your shoulders and your knees are resting at the base of your spine. Not knees, sorry, your hands are resting at the base of your spine. And this is such a lovely inversion. You could, if your arms are okay with it, you could actually rest here for quite a while. We're going to use it as a little way in to plow, which we'll we won't stay in that long either, but we'll just come back. So your knees and your feet are starting to move back towards the mat or floor behind you. So my big toes are touching the mat. If it's first thing in the morning, I'm probably even a meter or half a meter above the floor. So it really depends on flexibility. End of the day, you can be way more flexible. So don't worry if it's a bit stiff. So the feet are going back towards the floor, keeping everything else really straight. Soft shoulders. And when I say straight, I mean that you're not moving your head. Soften around your neck and your shoulders and your head, so there's not tension building up there. And then you can also place your hands, palms face down, on the mat, and your arms straight out behind you. That's quite nice. Tuck in your tummy a little bit so you've got room. So I'll come down. I just want to check, but I'll come down. So yeah, and you can move in between half shoulder stand and plow. You just can have a nice little, and also a nice little. Oh, I got up too quickly. Sorry. What you don't do is get up too quickly, which is what I just did. And also afterwards, you're meant to go into child or have a rest. And I just got up a little bit quick. It's headstand. You good to go into child afterwards, mainly. But yeah, so you can really enjoy going up again if you want to. You don't have to stay up in it. And you can also enjoy like bending the knees and almost doing the ear pressure pose one, where you bring it towards your ears or towards your eyes, the knees. But do rest. So after you've finished, just really rest on the mat. And don't do what I did. Ugh, I feel dizzy. So now when you feel like you've had enough rest, draw the knees into the chest and have a little rock around. Because I got up really quickly then, I've actually slightly hurt my lower back, like my middle back. It's actually it's not comfortable at all. So that's a lesson to us all, because that's the problem with teaching a posture and not really thinking about it enough. So I'm going to lie down instead, but if you're feeling okay about hugging the knees into the chest, then please do. And then we'll move into a semi-supine twist if you're feeling ready for a semi-supine twist. I'm not going to do that. God, what have I done to myself? Cautionary tale. So do your own twist this time. So it's as strong as you want it to be. Bring the arms out by your side, lovely. And finding your way. So it might be that your knees just come over to the side. It might be that you lift your knees in and then they go over to the side. Or it might be you take almost like a eagle twist and move over into the twist. Lovely. Perfect. And remembering your breath can completely relax now, so you're really allowing relaxation to come into your practice. Wonderful. And then when you're ready and you feel like you're stretched on either side, you can bring your legs up, lovely, and then start to move down into Shavasana. So it's time for the relaxation. And if you'd like me to bring a blanket over, just indicate in some way. Blanket. Would you either like a lavender eye mask or normal eye mask, another non-lavender? So make yourself super comfy. And really relax in this final deep relaxation posture. The corpse pose. The reason why it's called the corpse or dead man's pose, Shavasana, is because, well, one of the reasons is that you no longer need your body to do anything at all. So you're giving yourself that time without having to actually die, to completely and utterly relax without sleeping. But total relaxation. It's also postures and breathing. Our nervous system is getting going. Our sympathetic nervous system is getting us moving. And it's really important to the end to engage the parasympathetic and let your body completely relax and go through a mini death, full, complete relaxation, like in death, before being reborn, the end of the practice. This time we give ourselves is so important for the health of our nervous system, which of course is the health of our whole body. Our whole being. So you can completely and fully relax, feel totally safe to let go. Letting go the back of the neck, letting any tension. Any tension release. Any tension around your hips, completely at ease, soft. Allowing your hips to fully relax. Around your heart, shoulders, chest. Full relaxation. The whole body is relaxed. Allow. There is no controlling life. Try corralling a lightning bolt containing a tornado. Dam a stream and it will create a new channel. Resist and the tide will sweep you off your feet. Allow and grace will carry you to higher ground. The only safety lies in letting it all in, the wild and the weak, fear, fantasies, failures and success. When loss rips off the doors of the heart, or sadness veils your vision with despair, practice becomes simply bearing the truth. In the choice to let go of your known way of being, the whole world is revealed to your new eyes. Start to deepen your breath. Begin to find some movement in your body, maybe your fingers and your toes. When you're ready, make some larger movements. So you might want to take a full stretch of the body, right from the fingers to the toes. Or bring your knees into the chest for a full knee hug. Start to make your way onto your side. A little rest on your side. And then in your own time, you can make your way up to a seated position. With your eyes closed. Taking a few deep breaths. So remembering the expansion of the torso as you inhale. And a gentle lifting. And then this wonderful softening as you exhale. The breath relaxes the body. We'll bring the hands to the heart center. Let's complete with our Om vibrations, finishing with Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Breathing in. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. And the hands above the head in Prana Mudra. You take a few breaths here, so 3 or so deep, life-affirming breaths. Relax shoulders. Celebrating your life force energy. Being alive. And the hands above the head in Namaste. Coming down through the centers, the crown, third eye, the throat, and the heart. Namaste. And thank you for joining me. So nice to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Relaxations. Sorry, it's a bit short today because of our... I normally make sure we're down by 1:15. Oh, I hope you both have a lovely day. Yeah, these are mainly from they're from around here, but the choir. I do it for filming, but these ones aren't my filming ones. These are, I did use them on Friday filming, but Thursday night choir. That's not, low key choir. Happening. Announcing on the internet.
Where do you read from as well?
Actually, they're mainly Dana Folds, she has a lovely poem. I've only got them printed out, but I want to get the book. It's called Go In and In, which is a poems for yoga. Dana Folds, D-A-N-A, I presume American. Then Folds, D-A. I'll have a look in now just to turn this off. Thank you, Fiona. So lovely to see you. Oh, I'm so pleased you stayed for a bit, Bob. Okay. See you guys soon. I'll let you know if the time changes. I might separate you guys again. Okay, bye.